Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Teaching English on Dروس ثاني Super Goal 3. Before we start, we'd like to welcome our colleague Mr. Salih Al-Ujan, the interpreter to the sign language. As always, we start with objectives. What are the objectives? Objectives are the things that we are planning to achieve at the end of this class, inshallah. At the end of the class, students will be able to identify the difference between their was and their were. Okay? Also, the students will be able to answer questions with why using because. Next, the students will be able to use adverbs ago in full sentences. When you talk about the past, you use the adverb ago. Also, at the end of the class, the student will be able to identify the pronouns someone, no one, nothing, and anything. Okay, now we are at the second step in this unit, Unit 7, which is under the title, What Happened? And you know from the title that this unit concerns about or concentrates on the past, the things that happened in the past, and also it concentrates on the feelings that we're going to study inshallah today, and also we have studied them before. We are at step number 2 actually, which is grammar, as you can see here, which is section number 3 in your book. Before we start, as always, we make a quick revision on the previous lesson. You remember the previous lesson we studied, we described an accident and we talked about the feelings, okay, that the people sometimes have. Okay, we have different feelings in different occasions or different situations. We started with this one. How does this one feel? As you can see here, he feels happy. How does this boy feel? Okay, you can tell the opposite. He feels sad. And this girl, how does she feel? She feels tired, exhausted, because of she did maybe much work. And this guy here is sleepy. He is about to sleep. He is not sleeping yet, but he is about to sleep. So we call him, I would describe him as sleepy. He is sleepy. And here, this guy is angry. He is angry because something happened to him and it made him angry. And here, this lady here is worried. She's worried about something, okay? And this one also, this girl or this lady is nervous. Nervous because something upset her or I don't know what happened to her. And here also this guy is scared. Maybe something frightened him. So how does he look? He looks scared. Okay, also we're going to answer some questions from the workbook, exercise A on page 115. That is considered as a revision to the previous lesson. Look at these adjectives that describes people feelings like happy, okay, tired that we studied a while ago, angry, surprised, worried, and scared. Look at this guy here. How does he look? Look at him, and how does he look? He looks happy, sad, or what? Okay, he looks happy. Why? Let's read the question here and find out why he is happy. Alexander was, as you can see here, surprised. Okay, something made him happy and he's extremely happy. So he became surprised because his dad gave him a car for graduation. He graduated from school and he finished school. His dad gave him a present. That was a car. Okay, and here this lady, how does she look? Let's read and find out. Amanda's mother was, and we can find one of these adjectives to put in the blank here, because Amanda didn't clean her room. Her daughter didn't clean her room, so she is angry at her daughter. And here also, we talk about this guy here. Faisal is, what can you tell from the picture here? He is happy. Why is he happy? Because he has a new car. And here this girl is, Alberto, is, what can you tell from the picture and from the text here or from the statement? Because he has a big test tomorrow. If you have a big test, if you are planning to have a test, how do you feel usually? You feel worried. So he is worried. Alberto is worried about the test. Okay, and here we move also to the last two adjectives to use them here. You know this kind of amusement game that some people like to play. Malcolm and Jimmy are what? You can check here. Tired or scared because they are riding a roller coaster. You can see the picture here of the roller coaster. That is a kind of amusement. You can find it in the amusement park, and sometimes it is very dangerous, or it is sometimes people are scared when they ride on this roller coaster. So we can consider them as scared. Okay, they are scared. We look at the last picture here. Look at this guy here. How does he look? Let's read and find out. Omar is always tired. Why is he tired? Because he stays up late, too late at night. He sleeps late at night, so that when he goes to school, as you can see here in the picture, he feels sleepy or he feels tired. Okay, he cannot concentrate on his lessons or with the teachers. Okay, now let's review some of the vocabulary that we studied also in the previous lesson. When we talk about a noun, which means finishing a degree of study at a university or school. When you finish school, like this one, we call this graduation. We call this as graduation. That means finishing school. How did we see it in the text in the previous lesson? His dad gave him a car for graduation. That is graduation. And here we talk about a noun, the one that we had a while ago, a small railroad in an amusement park that goes up and down. You have you ever tried this game? When you go to an amusement park, we call it roller coaster. Okay, it goes up and down on a railroad. They are riding a roller coaster together. Okay, a noun starting with D. Think of the word and try to recall this word. Official permission for someone to drive a car. If you are young, you are not allowed to drive a car. If you get adult, you are allowed. If you get if you get older, or maybe here in Saudi Arabia, the limit is 18. You are allowed to get what? You can read it with us here. Driver's license. That means it allows you to drive a car. We call it driver's license. Okay, I just got my driver license, as we studied before in the previous lesson. Why did he feel happy? Because he got a driving license. A verb starting with L, to no longer know where something is. Okay, you don't know where your mobile is. You don't know where your keys are. So that means they are lost. So you lose them. If you lose something, that means you don't know where it is. I was worried because I lost my cell phone. A noun starting with T, lights that control the movement of cars, like this one. It controls the car. When there is an intersection, cars are arranged. With the first one goes first, the second one goes second, and so on. This is the thing that arranges the cars in the intersection. We call it traffic light. Okay, this is a traffic light. Someone needs to put a traffic light at this intersection. You remember the previous lesson when the police officer wrote a report about the accident. Okay, he suggested to put or to make a traffic light as this one to prevent the accidents, okay, or some accidents. Okay, the last word with us here, sport utility vehicle, a large car, the one that has many services, that can give many services, like this one. We call it SUV. What does SUV stand for? Sports utility vehicle, a large car. Okay, kind of large car. Usually this car has a four-wheel drive. That means it has more power than normal or sedan cars. An SUV hit a car. That is one of the cars that were involved in the accident in our previous lesson. Now we start our grammar of today. Today we're going to study there is, there are, there was, and there were. How do you understand this, and how can you use it in your speaking and in your writing, and how do you understand it? It is very easy. If you look at this traffic sign that we studied a while ago, now we can describe what is what we can see here on this picture, we can say there is a traffic sign. There is a traffic sign. Okay, if this traffic sign disappears, okay, how can we say there is not a traffic sign? But if we talk about few seconds ago when we had the traffic sign on the screen, we can say there was a traffic sign. Again, there is a traffic sign. Now there was a traffic sign. Okay, here we have an SUV car. Okay, we can say there is an SUV car. There is an SUV car. And it disappeared. No more car here. What can we say? There was an SUV car. There was before. Because here, in the second sentence here, we talk about the past. Now let's talk about more than one traffic sign. Or more than one traffic light. Okay, like this one, we have 3 now. How can we say about them? In the present now, we can see these traffic lights. We can say there are traffic lights. There are traffic lights. If they disappear, like what happens now here, no traffic lights, there are not traffic lights, and we want to talk about few seconds ago, we can say here, we don't use was, because was only with singular, with one thing. But since we have 3, we can say here, there were traffic signs. There were traffic signs. Okay, we do the same here. There are SUV cars. There are SUV cars. Okay, there are SUV cars. And now there are not SUV cars. But if we want to use the past tense of the verb be, which is as we used am, is, are, was, were, we can say there were SUV cars. Like this one, there are SUV cars. Now there were SUV cars. Okay. Now let's apply this on this chart. As you can see here, we talk about singular. We can say there was an accident. If you want to talk about an accident, you want to report an accident, as we studied in the previous lesson. There was an accident. But before 3 accidents happened, how can you report that? You can say there were 3 accidents this week. There were. Why do we use here was? Okay, we use was here because we're talking about one. Why do we use here were? Because we are talking about more than one. Okay, but both are in the past. Okay, here negative form. Okay, when you use negative, you should use not. Since we have verb be here, we can put not after the verb be. As you can see here, there wasn't a traffic light. Why was there an accident? Because there wasn't a traffic light. Okay, now we'll talk about plural with negative form. There weren't many cars in the street. Okay, there were few cars. There weren't many cars. This is a negative form. Okay, now also we apply this, there are on this picture now, as you can see here. Look at this one. This is a clock here. You can see on the board here, we can say there is a clock, and now we can say there was a clock. Very good. There was a clock. And here, there is a tree. Now, there was a tree because it disappeared. Okay, there was a tree. And here, we can see there are what? What can you see on the floor here? Excellent. Books. How can we describe the situation here? We can say there are books. If they disappear, we can say there were books before. We're talking about few seconds ago in the past. There were books. And here you can see a cat. This is a cat. So we can say there is a cat. When the cat disappears, when the cat goes away, we can say there was a cat. There was a cat. Also we have teddy bears. We call these things teddy bears. There are. We are talking about 2. So we can say there are teddy bears. And if they go away, we can say there were teddy bears. They disappear. And here, there is a boy behind the sofa. There is a boy. Now the boy goes away, and we can say there was a boy behind a sofa. And here we have a vase. There is a vase. And there are flowers. You see, there is a vase, 1. There was flowers, in the vase. Okay, if it disappears, we can say there was a vase, and we can say there were flowers. There were flowers. And here, this is a vacuum machine. We can say there is a vacuum machine. And when it goes away, we can say there was a vacuum machine. Shoes. How can we say? You can try yourself saying the sentence, describing the situation here. In the present, as you can see here, we can say there are shoes. But when they disappear, we can say there were shoes. We consider shoes as plural, always. Okay, there are, there were. Okay, now also we want to learn how to use why and because. When we ask with why, here we are asking about the reason. Why? What is the reason for that? Usually when somebody asks with why, the answer comes as because. Okay, because this is justification or telling the reason for what happened. Okay, let's see here. Look at this girl here. How does she feel? What do you think? From the picture now, you can tell that she feels worried. Okay, we want to know the reason behind that. Why? Why was she worried? Why was she worried? What is the reason? Okay, we can tell that maybe because she has a test tomorrow. She has a test tomorrow. When we talk about her, we can say she has a test tomorrow. But when she talks about herself, she says, because I have a test tomorrow. Okay, and here, look at this driver. She's shouting, okay? Now she looks, how does she look? Let's first ask, why did the driver start to shout? Okay, she started to shout. Why did she start to shout? The reason behind that, because she was angry. Okay, notice here, we asked with did, because that happened in the past. And the justification for the reason why in the past, because she was angry. Notice, very important to commit to the tense. Okay, when somebody asks why did the driver start to shout, did. When you talk about did, that means in the past. The answer, because she was angry. Okay. Also, this exercise also in your book on page 58. Work with a partner. Ask and answer. Look at this picture. What can you see here in this picture? We can see fans. We call these people who are watching a match, we call them fans. How do they look? Okay, look at the guy here. He looks happy. This guy looks happy. So all fans look happy. As you can see here, fans are happy. Now we want to ask about the reason. How can we ask about the reason? Excellent, very good. We use why. So we can ask with why, like this. Why are the fans happy? Why? Why usually the fans happy? Because their team won the game. Okay, their team won the game, scored more goals than the other team. Okay, here, look at these two guys here. They are worried. They look worried. Okay, and they have a football here. And what happened? There is a window here, as you can see. What happened to the window? The window is broken. Okay, so why do they look worried? Okay, why are they worried? So the boys worried. We can ask, why are the boys worried? When we say we are, that means at the moment. We look at the picture now and we ask, why are they worried? The answer comes like this: because they broke the window. Okay, they were playing football and they broke the window. Okay, here also this lady is angry. What is the reason behind that? If you want to ask a question using why, how can you say it? How can you use it? This is Nawal, of course, her name is Nawal, and she is angry. You can ask, why is Nawal angry? Okay, why is Nawal angry if you want to ask about the moment now. But if you want to ask about the past, you can say, you just change is into was. Why was Nawal angry? But for now, why is Nawal angry? Think why? Because her sister ate her sandwich. Okay, her sister took her sandwich and that made her angry. Okay, these are parents and they look sad. You can see here they look sad. Try to guess why. Look at the car here and try to imagine why are these two parents are sad? Why? Okay, you can see parents and sad. Why are they sad? As you can see here, why are the parents sad? The answer comes like this: because their son is leaving home. You can see their son is going away from home, leaving home. So this is the reason why they were sad. And the last one here, you can see the boy here, he had an accident, okay, using his bicycle, and the police officer now is surprised, okay. So if officer is surprised, why is the officer surprised? You can guess why you think he's surprised. Because the boy had a very bad accident, and the boy isn't hurt. Although the accident was bad, the boy isn't hurt that much. Okay, now how to use ago. If you talk about a sentence that happened or something that happened in the past, and you want to specify the number of or the amount of time that this thing happened, it is very easy. You just use ago. It's different than the verb go. It is completely different. This is an adverb that describes the time, and we usually use it with the past. Look at the sentence here. They saw Ahmed in his office 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago. Okay? That means 10 minutes passed, and before 10 minutes, they saw Ahmed. Okay, so we can use it in this way. Let's go to some examples. We are answering exercise C. Write your answer, use ago, then share answers with partner. When did you last read a book or a good book? The last time, you can say here, I last read. You can see here, read is the present. Why you see we use the infinitive? Because we are using here did. As you can see here, did. When you use did, as we said before, you have to put the verb in the infinitive form. Why did? Why? When did you last read a book or a good book? The answer, I last read a book. Here we use it in the past because we don't have did. I last read a book, and it is, by the way, it is spelled the same, but the pronunciation, you say it read in the present. In the past, although it spells like the present, but you pronounce it as read, like the color red. Okay, I last read a good book 2 weeks ago on vacation. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, that means before 2 weeks. When did you last see a good exhibit? You can answer like this: I last saw a good exhibit, and you can specify the time. Let's answer this exercise. For example, a month ago. A month ago. Okay, notice here ago, that means a month passed. Next one, when did you first use a computer? For the first time. When you started using a computer, we can say I first used a computer. We can say maybe, let's say in your age, 8 years ago. That means 8 years passed when I started using a computer. Next, when did you last eat a delicious meal? You can say I last eat a delicious meal maybe 2 days. What? 2 days passed, so we can use here ago again. 2 days ago. The last question here, when did you last go shopping? You can say I went shopping a week ago. That means 1 week. When you say a week, we mean 1 week. A week and ago. Okay, it is very important to know how to use ago because it specifies when the action started. Okay, also we have this part of a grammar. As you can see here, someone, no one, nothing, and anything. We consider these as pronouns. Pronouns like I, he, she, it, we, you, they. But here we use to refer to things in our speech sometime. Like here, someone helped the driver get out of the car. So we use here someone. We don't specify a specific person. So we use it as a pronoun to refer the action to someone that we don't know. That means that's how we use someone. Did you hear anything? Did you hear anything? here, notice something very important. It is underlined. When we say one, we talk about a person, human being. Okay, but when we use thing, as you can see here, we refer to a thing, not a human being. Okay, so here, did you hear anything? You hear anything? The answer may be yes, I did, or no, I didn't. Fortunately, no one was hurt in the accident. So here, no one, that means no person was hurt. Okay, the next here, I didn't hear anything, I was asleep. I didn't hear anything, I was asleep. Notice something here. When we say asleep, this is an adjective, okay, different than sleep, the verb, okay, different than sleepy, also the other adjective. That means he is in the state of sleeping. So asleep, that means he is started sleeping. But sleepy is about to sleep. But when you describe somebody using the verb, you can say he is sleeping right now. Okay, we go back to anything here. I didn't hear anything. So why do you use any here? Because it is in the negative form. When we use the negative form, we use anything. I didn't hear anything. I didn't do anything. Okay. The last one here, and nothing was wrong with the car. Okay, so here also we use nothing to talk about something that didn't happen. Okay, like nothing was wrong with the car, and we refer to things. We don't refer to persons. How do we refer to persons? With someone and no one. Okay, this is an exercise, exercise T. We will end our class with this exercise. Complete the sentences, use someone, no one, nothing, and anything. Okay, I was there, but I didn't see anything. Okay, number 2. Can say that I didn't try, I worked hard. Okay, no one can say that I didn't try, I worked hard. No one, that means nobody. Okay, can please help me? Can someone? You are not asking a specific person, someone. So okay, we can use someone here because it completes the sentence. Can someone please help me? Number 4, why are you angry? I did nothing wrong. Nothing. So he's talking about things that didn't happen. I am surprised. No one heard the loud crash. No one. Okay, that means nobody heard the crash. The children are bored because there is nothing to do here. Okay, there is nothing to do here. And by this we come to the end of our class. Thank you for watching and see you inshallah in our next episode. Goodbye.